It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Everybody alright? It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Hey, you better hold on tight. It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. K-On, I think they're ready. You tuned into what you tuned into. It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Everybody alright? It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Hey, you better hold on tight. It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. K-On, I think they're ready. You tuned into what you tuned into.
Give me my theme music.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to another episode of Off the Record. I'm your host, Kevin Young, and I want to welcome you here. Please share. I wasn't here last week because I had some issues with my family back in Arkansas. I'm one of the ones who don't post everything that goes on in my life, but I had to go home and take care of some business and just keep my family in prayer. That's all I ask. So, y'all know I always say my little spiel before I get started. But tonight we got Danny Lewis on here. He's a production manager / promoter. Really, really good guy. But let me say this right here. Southern Soul. There's so much I can say about Southern Soul. I went to a couple of concerts the past weekend. Great concerts. Met some great people there. I just think that Southern Soul is on the rise. Hope you guys continue to support it. But let me say this right here too, for any artists that come on here, y'all make sure y'all share this. Just because people don't share your lives, just because people don't share your music, don't necessarily mean that you have to get upset about it. Hey, people share what they want to share on their pages. You can't make nobody share your stuff. When I put my flyers out for my shows, for my podcast, I don't expect nobody to share. I tag people. If people don't want to share it, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. But all my supporters that come on Off the Record weekly, I'm really thankful for you guys supporting my podcast. It's been 3 years and counting. I got 54 shows on YouTube. So if you guys missed any one of them, y'all can go watch them on YouTube. But I do this because I want to do it because I have met a lot of great people in Southern Soul. I met very few not so great people. I choose not to meet them. But for the ones that I see out at shows and stuff, I love meeting you guys, talking to you. And I welcome your comments about Southern Soul from a promoter's point of view. That way I can relay the message to the artist. But tonight, like I said, we got a production manager / promoter on here, Danny Boy Lewis. He's been around for a long time, so we're gonna bring him on. What's going on, sir?
Hey, K Young, what's happening, man? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. It's an honor to have you on here, man. I've read so much about you, heard so much about you, man. You have a man. Your talents, you have longevity. You've been in the game for a long, long time, and I definitely want to pick your brain and ask you some questions that people want to know.
Oh,
So,
I don't know if that's good about picking my brain, but before you get started, man, I heard your intro. I want to commend you. That's dope. Very professional. I like it, and and uh, and I want to say first of all, I thank God for every opportunity that
mhm,
He allows me, and especially with meeting good people.
mhm,
I want to thank Him, but I want to thank you and your wife for the friendship
mhm,
over the few years that we've known each other, and just for the hospitality, man, that you
mhm.
share with me and my
Yeah.
friends, like coming to your area or even
Mhm,
coming to visit some of my shows or whatever. I
mhm.
don't take that for granted because people don't have to like you. People don't have to be nice to you, no
Yeah.
matter what you do. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Some people don't like you just because they don't like you and they don't even know you. But
Exactly.
since the first time we met, we had a good chemistry, a good vibe, a good spirit about you and your wife. And like I say, I appreciate the friendship, man, and I thank God for it. And I definitely want to thank you for
Yeah.
allowing me to come on your platform, man, off the record. Contrary, contrary, contrary to popular belief, it's the hottest podcast. It's the hottest podcast on the Southern Soul Circuit.
Hey,
So
don't say that too loud, man. They get mad if you said it's a
why
hottest
not?
podcast. I don't know, man.
I mean,
They
why
don't
would
say it too loud.
somebody get mad? Somebody got to be the best. You
Yeah,
know, if everybody was the best, then the best wouldn't be special. There's a reason why
exactly.
Michael Jordan has been Michael Jordan for the last 40 years.
Hmm.
You know, you can compare Kobe, you can compare LeBron, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, they ain't
there's
Michael Jordan.
nobody but they ain't Michael Jordan.
That's
So,
right. That's right. You
you
know what I
know,
tell people all the time, Danny boy, I tell people, man, relationships last longer than money. You know, I rather have
most definitely.
I rather have a relationship with you. We can always make money, man, but we gotta have that relationship, and that's just what it is, man. But I mean when I met you, man, I said, oh yeah, Danny boy, he pretty cool because I tell people all the time, good people attract good people. That's just the bottom line. Good people
Oh,
attract good
yeah.
people. And like you said earlier, people don't like you for no other reason other than that people like you and they don't like them. Because good
Right,
people
right.
attract good people, man. That's just the way it is. But,
Absolutely.
but it's a privilege and an honor for having you to come on here, man. Because like I said, I know you've been in the game. You have a wealth of knowledge, so I want to go and get started because I know they're ready.
Thank you. I'm honored.
So tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Danny Lewis Sr. of Danny Boy Entertainment. I live in North Mississippi in a small area in Marshall County, Mississippi, the Byhalia Olive Branch area, right outside of Memphis on state line. I'm originally from Grand Junction, Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
from the Ames Plantation. You know, lived
Yeah.
in Chicago and Ida B. Wells on the South Side for a short period of time as a small child with my Aunt Mandy after my grandmother passed. And in Bolivar, Tennessee is where I came back as a teenager and I went to high school there and where I got into radio with a man by the name of Bob Golden.
Mm-hmm.
He had a gospel group. Yeah, he was the first guy to put me on the radio at 12 or 13 years old. I was probably like 12 going into the summer
Mm-hmm.
of being my 13th birthday. Yep. And then I got with my family's gospel group, Dr. Andrew Cheers and the Songbirds, where I was started off myself and my cousins, my younger cousins, we were trying to be singers. We were called the Songbirds Juniors as kids, start off at the Easter program and stuff. Then
Yeah.
people start asking you to sing. But when we became teenagers, we were became the group's musicians as they started to record albums.
Mm-hmm.
Back when we were kids, they were doing 45s. A lot of your audience may not know nothing about that, where you
Yeah.
have one, two songs, an A side and a B side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when they started recording the albums, we became the musicians for the group, and I stayed there a long time, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Left in 1999, going into 2000. Left, decided to not be in the group anymore, and I started working with an R&B artist by the name of Glenn Jones, who I was friends with. I met through Marilyn Lucius, one of my best friends, member of the Canton Spirituals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Wow.
met Glenn in North Carolina at Macy's wedding. We became cool, and I was like, "Well, hey man, I ain't in the gospel group no more." He's like, "Okay, so hey, you ain't doing nothing. Come on, go on the road with me." And
Wow.
that's when I
That's where
learned
it
about
started.
with the R&B,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
learned about uh, bumped into a lot of great people with Glenn. I
I'm gonna ask you
started.
about that. Hold on. I'm gonna ask you about that. I'm gonna ask you all about that. So let me ask you this question right here. So is it
Yeah.
fair to say that you came in the music business as an artist slash what drummer?
Well, yeah, let me just say this. My
Okay.
Aunt Mandy, my mother's older sister, my mother's the youngest of 9. She's
Okay.
the last living out of her sisters and brothers. She's 83 years old.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and matter of fact, happy birthday to my mama. Yeah.
Okay. Happy
She's 80
birthday, mama.
to my mama and granny, to my mother-in-law. They both the same age. Birthdays are like 6 days apart.
Oh
So
wow.
my mom's the last living. My last uncle Booker T was 96. He passed on last year in April.
Mm,
But
wow.
my Aunt Mandy, who's my mother's older sister, who helped to raise us, my Aunt Mandy and my Aunt Lorraine, my mother's two sisters, she carried me to my first gospel program at
Okay.
Deuce Upper High School, 119th Street, south side of Chicago, to see the Violinaires, Blind Boys, and the Salem Travelers. And I fell in love with music
Ever
then.
since. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I came back down south, I wanted to be a part of it. And I met my family, the Cheers family, and Reverend Cheers put me in a group with Randy and Junior and them. Like I say, we were kids,
Yeah.
just really to try to kind of keep us out of the streets and out of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, one thing led to another. I didn't really want to be a drummer. My cousin Rodney was actually the drummer. His mom ended up getting married and moved to another town, so he moved with his mother and left the group without a drummer. So I became the drummer. And at the same time, the older musicians, my cousin Jimmy and Rusty and all the guys that were playing, they decided that they didn't want to really travel and do
Mm-hmm.
what we wanted to do. So all of us, man, we really just kind of taught ourselves how to play
Wow.
instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's a good deal. So you've been in the music for a while. So let me ask you this question right here. So going from church to R&B, right? You went straight from church to R&B, right?
yeah, but
Okay.
not from church now, because I ain't never really left church. I still
Okay.
play at church when I'm
Gotcha.
able to be there.
Okay. Well, you changed your music. You went to secular music. You went to
Well,
secular music from gospel.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin, I always have a saying with that. I
Uh,
beg the difference with that. I heard of an older R&B singer, Howard Hewitt, said one time that the word secular means without God.
okay.
And for me, man, I don't do nothing without God.
Gotcha.
For
Okay.
me, the change of the music was just a change of jobs, a way for
Mm-hmm.
me to try to make a better way for me to provide for my family, because I started a family at that time. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, but if they want to call it, if society calls it secular
Yeah. They call it
music,
secular or worldly
yeah,
music. Worldly music.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you went from that to worldly music, right? So name some notable artists that you work with. I know it's a lot of them.
Like I, like I say, I met Glenn Jones, who I knew of from the gospel days, from his group. He had a gospel group back in Jacksonville called the Modulations. So, which he and Jeffrey Newberry and Ricky Boston, all those guys went on to be a part of a world-renowned gospel group, the Gospel Keynotes.
Okay.
Yeah, Willie Neal Johnson and the Keynotes from Texas, from Tyler, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn was doing R&B, so I knew of him. He was one of my favorite singers. So I just kind of latched on to him. He took me out on the road with him, but I started meeting people. He was in a play with Lenny Williams, with now one of my mentors and a good friend, Nate Tarver, who had them out on the road. Glenn Jones, Lenny Williams, Shucky Ducky, Patrice Lovelace, a lot of people. Patrice is an actor now with Tyler Perry. They
Uh-huh.
had a play called When a Woman's Fed Up. So I met Lenny.
Mm-hmm.
I met Patrice. Then I met some of everybody. I ended up meeting Ricky Ricardo, who at that time was the tour manager and production manager for the Gap Band for
Mhm.
Charlie Wilson. Charlie was starting to come back and do his solo career. You know, then Ricky was working with Confunction, the Barcades, SOS. I linked up with Larry Dotson and James Alexander here in Memphis, and they were doing the United We Funk All Stars with Barcades, SOS, Dad's Band, Confunction, and Ricky was the tour manager, Ricky and Randy Hodges. So I went on the road with the Barcades for like 3 years. They changed. Charlie left after Tom Joyner recorded United We Funk All Stars. Charlie left, was doing his solo thing. They added Sugarfoot's Ohio Players to the
Mhm.
roster, and I think Midnight Star used to come in. Lakeside, Lil Fred, and them, the original Lakeside. But Ricky and Randy kind of started teaching me about production.
Okay. Good
No, because
deal.
I was green. I didn't know anything, but I've always
Mhm.
been the one that would be a servant to people. You know, I've been the wardrobe guy, like carrying the clothes. I've been the driver of the van, you know, doing ground transportation, picking the guys up, taking them to the venue. I done been the merchandise guy. You know, I helped
Mhm.
Archie Love with merchandise. Um, I mean, I done kind of done a little bit of it
Mhm.
all, man.
Yeah. So let
Yep.
me ask you a question. So what's your relationship with Keith Sweat? I heard y'all were really good friends. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweats, you've been doing your research, ain't you? Yeah, Sweat's my OG, man. Sweat's like a big brother to me in the industry. Uh, yeah, that's my OG. That's my
Yeah.
dude, you know.
Okay. So now, is it true that you orchestrated a song with him and J1? Is that rumor? Or is that true?
Yeah, nah, well, kind of sort of. First of all, I'm gonna say, you know, Sweat's from Harlem, right?
Okay.
So when he talked to you, you know, being 40 years in the business and being
Yeah.
on the top and still on the top of the R&B game, he talked to you like he Bumpy Johnson, the Godfather of Harlem. You know, he
Yeah.
got his way. Yeah, he got his way of talking to you to make you listen. He don't just come to you mild mannered and stuff. He
Yeah.
tell you what's what. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So yeah, I kind of made that happen for
Yeah.
J1, which was a great song actually, but it was actually J1's song.
Okay.
And he brought it, and Keith ended up putting kind of producing it and putting some vocals on it. Yep.
Mhm.
So the
Okay.
story about that is I was at Keith's house, myself, Roy Chip Anthony, you know Roy,
Yep.
who's done some he's one of Keith's producers, and
Hmm.
Ray Lavender, who was an actor and singer. We were at Keith's house in the studio. Roy and Ray were working on Chip and Ray were working on some stuff. I was there hanging out because Sweat was, Keith produced a lot of movies. He shoot
Hmm.
movies and stuff. Him and Chris Stokes and them. So they was working on the movie. I was there with him, you
Yeah. Go
know,
ahead. Hmm.
that. But I happened to be in the studio with Chip and Ray during that time. So me, I'm always going live. You know, my best friend Ferris Evans say I go live on the sidewalk, but I'm going live while they're in the studio. So I'm showing Sweat on my live. He
Hmm.
didn't know it. So one of J1's friends and a promoter called me like, so man, you really at Keith Sweat's house? I'm like, yeah.
Hmm.
We talking, what y'all doing? I said, they in there working on some music. I'm hanging out, eating pizza. And we just started a conversation, and he was like, uh, let me hit you right back. Then we called back, he had J1 on the phone. And J1 was like, yo, man, what's up? Da 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 da. You know, he's like, see if what it'd take for him to do a song for me,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And I basically just asked him, man, and put him on the phone with J1, and they chopped it up. And within an hour or less, they had made the agreement, you know?
Hmm.
J1 and them came to the studio in Georgia, in Alpharetta at Keith's house. He
Hmm.
brought his hard drive. Him and Chip and Ray worked on the song.
Hmm.
Sweat came back about 11:30 at night, listened to it, started changing a little bit of stuff and putting his touch on it or whatever. And, you know, they had the song Feel Me. Yep. So
Okay.
that's
Good
basically
deal.
what happened. But
Good
yeah,
deal.
I made the connection between the two.
That's good deal, man. Cause it's all about helping somebody. So now you're a production manager slash promoter, right?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
look, man, the thing with me is, Kevin,
Yeah.
I've been around long enough to I know I do a little bit of it all,
Yeah.
except for like sing and
Yeah.
maybe play,
Mhm.
So the other stuff, yeah, but I promote shows. People call me a promoter
Yeah.
because they don't really understand the production part of it.
Yeah.
People on
Mhm.
this side, people
Yeah.
on the gospel quartet side and Southern Soul, they don't really understand what production is. It takes
Mhm.
too long to explain it. So,
Yeah.
they a lot of them just say, oh, the promoter, because
Yeah.
it's easy to recognize that if I do a
Gotcha.
show, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But a
So,
lot of the shows I'm doing, I'm the production manager.
okay. So let me ask you this question right here. So, is production as equally as important as the song?
It's just as important,
Okay.
you know.
Explain it.
And well, the song can only get you to a certain place.
Okay.
The song can only get you to a certain place, and the production is what keeps you there.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? Like,
Yeah.
so take for example, you've had people that have gotten a hit song, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people call them one hit wonders because they
Yeah.
don't hear from them no more.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get another song. You follow me?
Yeah.
Then you got people like, for example, like Lenny Williams,
Mm-hmm.
the right song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's still around
Yeah.
at his age because the production of his song and the production of his show, when he goes and do a show, he's a great entertainer, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
show is what keep people coming to see you. Take for example, like the Legacy Tour, Keith Sweat, New Edition, Keith Sweat, Guy, and Tank. Okay, the only one of those guys out of that tour who has recently had a number one song or a quote unquote familiar record has been Tank, right?
Yeah.
But the tour is built around the legacy of New Edition, Keith Sweat, and Guy. You follow me?
Yeah.
Because when you go see their show, it's like, oh wow, I don't want to miss this when it comes back. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You
Yeah.
get to hear all those hits that they had in the 80s and the 90s, which is basically what they singing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you very seldom hear them sing something that they done new in their show. They sing the hits, but people keep coming because it's the whole production, the bells and the whistles, the sound, the music, the
Mm-hmm.
808s, the video screens, the cryo, the dancers. It's a performance.
Yeah.
So it makes you want to pay to go back and see it over and over when they come to town because you don't want to miss that experience. And for
Oh, okay.
me, that's what we try to bring to the Southern Soul Circuit with the Calvin Richardson experience.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that. But let me ask you this
You
question right here. So I heard you say someone told you to focus on things that no one wants to do. Who said that and explain that?
You heard me mention about Ricky Ricardo. Ricky was from Houston, Texas, tour
Okay.
manager,
Uh-huh.
production manager for the Gap Band, for Charlie Wilson, for
Yeah.
Confunction. Just worked around the industry for a lot of years.
Uh-huh.
At the time when I met Ricky, his health was starting to fail when we were doing
Mhm.
Masters of Funk, you know, and he would always call me to the side to help him do stuff, little things, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
he told me, he said, like if you want some longevity
Yeah.
in this industry, learn to do all the things that don't nobody else want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all the little things that's important. He said anybody can get on stage and play. A great musician can play, but can you be an MD? Can you put a show together? Can you lead the band? Can you rehearse without the principals being there? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Can
Mm-hmm.
you make sure that the equipment gets to the building on time? Can you make sure that you advance the show where you have the proper equipment that they want? Can you make sure that the merchandise is in the lobby and that people know it's out there? You know what I'm saying? Can you make sure
Mm-hmm.
that the wardrobe is clean and in the backstage? Can you make sure that the dressing room is done right with hospitality and stuff? And so that's the stuff that I didn't really know about or took for granted that needs to be done that I started focusing on. And that's I've kind of done a little bit of all of that for a lot of artists,
Yeah.
which has helped me keep consistency with
Mm-hmm.
work. Yeah. So because those things are more important. You know, how many bands or artists have you seen with different band members?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see the
Yeah.
principal singers, then you're like, damn, probably one of the only bands that you've seen that don't change members a lot over the years has been Maze, because they are a band. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody else, you might see
He
a
need to
different
he need to
drummer.
retire though. He need to retire. I went to his concert.
Well, I can't say that because the people still pay to see him. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm saying?
he need to retire, man. People was walking out. I mean, I've been listening to Maze for years. When I went to that concert in Austin with him and Ron Isley, man, I kind of felt sorry for him, man. He didn't lost not one step. He lost a few steps.
Well, I mean, the man's of age, over
Yeah,
70 years old, but
yeah, yeah,
Kev, let me say this in fairness to him, the
yeah,
people still love the music, they still like
yeah.
the
Now they love
songs,
the music.
and if you can still get $150,000, $175,000, you know, a night,
Why quit, huh?
shit, right? So you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just me,
Yeah,
and obviously age, time brings about an end to everything. Father
yeah,
Time is undefeated.
yeah.
Everything has an
That's
end
right.
date.
Yeah,
It's all about whether or not we ready to accept when the end is near, when it comes. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But
yeah.
you know, Frank got that music that as long as the band playing the songs, you know what I'm saying, man? People
Yeah,
gonna sing
man. But
along with it.
this last show he just did, man, about a month ago here, they had to help him out a lot, man. I kind of felt sorry for him. I mean, the band was jamming now. The band was jamming, but it looked like he had some gum on the bottom of his shoes where he was moving.
Hey man, well, hey, move on from that, Kevin. Move on for that. I was amazed at my boys, man.
Hey,
Move on
hey,
from
but
that.
look, but I can tell you this: Ron Isley was jamming. He didn't miss a note. I mean, I like both of them, man. I mean, he didn't miss a note, but Maze, man, I was like, no, man.
Well, both bands are great.
Yeah,
Both
yeah. Oh,
bands
yeah,
are great.
they jam, man. Yeah,
And the legacy is there. But again,
yeah,
anybody that can go out and get $100,000+ in one night,
yeah.
you know what I'm
Oh, he
saying?
getting it.
Hey,
Yeah, he getting it.
yeah,
So
both.
look,
So
so let's talk about Southern Soul. So you done all these great things in R&B. I mean, all these people you've named. Hell, I haven't met. I met maybe one or two of them. I mean, like I said, you definitely have volume in the music industry. So let's flip the script to Southern Soul. How did you get to Southern Soul? It's a new genre of music. Some you weren't used to, correct? So you're in Southern Soul now.
well,
With
I
with
met,
with your with your eclectic tendencies. So how does that work out for you over here in Southern Soul?
it's cool. I mean, it's like, here's the
Okay.
thing, man. I met Bobby Rush when I was a kid. I told you I lived in Chicago a little while. Bobby
Uh-huh.
Rush used to come to Grant Park with a radio station. Mr. Purvis Spann had a radio station, and they would go to Grant Park and give out stuff to the kids and all of that. But I knew of Bobby Rush because
Uh-huh.
I remember seeing it when I went
Man,
to
you
Rush
getting dark. Man,
College.
turn some light on. I can't see you.
Oh, I'm in the car. I had to pull over to talk to you, man. I had
Yeah.
to still be grinding, But
Yeah. Turn
what
your
about
light on,
now?
man. Okay.
I
You got
got
the
it
light?
on. I got my lights on, man. Can you see
Yeah,
it?
you must got your light tinted inside the car. I know you cool like that. You got your light
No,
tinted.
no. Let me see, man. I got the lights on, man.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
got
do?
both lights on. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, let me put it over here like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, do
Is
that.
that better?
No, hell no.
It ain't better. All right. But nevertheless, man.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
but I met Bobby Rush, and then I met him when I was at Rush College. Rush College used to do an event called uh, Russ College Gospel and Blues celebration, and they would bring Bobby Rush and Lynn White
Mm-hmm.
every year. So I met Bobby, and I just walked up to him one day at Russ, and we was talking. And Bobby Rush has an incredible memory to be his age. So in the latter '90s, I saw him again, and he remembered who I was. He
Uh-huh.
remembered me. He remembered talking to me. At least if he didn't, he acted like he
Right there.
pretended.
Right there. I can see you right there. Right there. There
Okay,
you go.
so
Right there.
but anyway,
Uh-huh.
uh, and I started like just checking out what Bobby Rush was doing. Then I started seeing these other names like Marvin Cease, Willie Clayton, and I'm like listening to the music, and I'm like, shoot, I heard of Willie Clayton too when I was in Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out I happened to go down to an event that Bobby got me in an event, and then I was there and I met Willie Clayton. So cool, we became friends. A few years later, after I stopped working with Glenn Jones, Willie Clayton was like, "Well, come on, you can go on the road with me." So I went on the road with Willie for a while, like about a year and a half or so. That's when I started seeing all of this, these different artists like TK Soul. Then my friend Vic Allen, who I've known since 1988 when he got with the Canton Spirituals. He was doing it both. He was doing both. He was doing the gospel and he was coming over there singing and stuff. You know, I met Sir Charles, which I actually saw in Huntsville. I was at a show with Gerald Levert and Andy Gibson, and Sir Charles is on the show. And I mean, like, he came out with his arms up, with a long suit on, like Richard Nixon, holding his hands up, fingers up in the air, like Richard Nixon, and the women were going crazy, you know? And so, you know, I just started saying, okay, this is cool. It ain't really R&B, but it ain't really blues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I started hearing all these radio announcers. Bobby OJ was one. And I think my man down in Jackson, Mississippi, I think he actually gave Sir Charles that name, the King of Southern Soul. But I heard Bobby OJ one morning on DIA. He was playing Anybody Lonely. So he was like talking about it afterwards. He said something like, I don't know exactly how the conversation went, but he said something like, well, you know, don't really fit my format, because he was playing Johnny Taylor, Tyrone Davis, Betty Wright, Daz Band, Earth, Wind and Fire. You know, he was playing all this stuff, right? James Ingram, but he was like, it don't really fit my format. It ain't really R&B, but it ain't blues, but it's a good song and the people like it. So hell, I'm gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? So he started playing it. And then as the changes in radio went on with corporate radio, Clear Channel and all that stuff, he moved that music to Saturday mornings. And he started calling it DIA Saturday Blues, where he would play it, but he started playing more and more of those records where he was at first only playing, and I'm mentioning the artists out of that era, Marvin Cease. He was only playing like Marvin Cease, Willie Clayton, Mel Waiters, and Bobby Rush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then Charles came along and took it to another level, and then he started playing TK Soul. And then what's the guy had the song, man? They used to play it all the time. Party Ain't Over. Party Ain't Over. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're talking about, but shit, I can't think of it now. I know you're talking about that.
Yeah, that was a big song back then. You know, and then TK had Cheating in Line and all of that stuff, man. So people just started, I guess they needed to feel like, instead of just saying it's a good music or a good song, they had to give it a name. You know what I'm saying? And so I started hearing Southern Soul, and I'm like, what is Southern Soul? Nothing but music that people play in the South, you know? Because if you listen back to Johnny Taylor and Bobby Womack and Joe Simon and O.V. Wright, those guys were not blues singers or Southern Soul singers. Tyrone Davis, you know.
But why do they say? You know what? But you know what? But here's why do they say they are? They say they were. They say they were Southern Soul singers.
Who says it?
A lot of folks saying it.
I know it because they don't really understand it. The transition was made.
Yeah, explain it to them.
Yeah, well, and listen to me. Everything that I'm saying to you, other than my actual facts of my life, are only my opinions. So it don't mean I'm right, but it don't.
Well, you have an educated opinion, because you have longevity, so your opinion is more respectable. But go ahead.
What I saw in the 70s, and I'm gonna ask you this: do you remember when you were a kid? Because we close to the same age.
Yeah.
If you turned on a radio, and especially when FM radio came in, because they didn't play black music on FM radio a lot unless it was top 100. But do you remember where you could hear Michael Jackson, you could hear B.B. King, Thrill Is Gone, you could hear Earth, Wind and Fire, you could hear Betty Wright's music, you could hear Millie Jackson, you could hear the Bee Gees, Michael McDonald, the Doobie Brothers. You can hear all that music, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston, you can hear it all on the same station at the same time.
Yeah, I
And they
remember that.
played it because it was called Top 100, right?
Yeah, yeah,
When major corporations start coming in, Clear Channel, Cumulus, Radio One, The Citadel, all of these people, Reach Media, all these people, radio became corporate conglomerates.
yeah.
And it became all about advertisement dollars. So what they started doing was programming the radio stations to reach a certain demographic of people to sell to.
Yeah,
So if you 55, 60 years old, which these guys were at that time, 65 years old, your people ain't going out spending a whole lot of money. They already settled. You know what I'm saying? Your
Yeah.
fan base. They ain't buying a whole lot of different stuff.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A 65-year-old man gonna buy a car once every 10 years, probably.
yeah.
You follow me? So they started moving all of them to cater to an older demographic of people. Well, where do you move that to? You move it to Saturday mornings. What do you call it? We just call it blues. If you had called Johnny Taylor or Tyrone Davis or Bobby Womack a blues singer to their face, you were gonna get cussed out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But because of the age and time, like I said earlier, time changes everything. Like they moved them to Saturday mornings, and people in a box, which means most of the shows they play, the majority of them, 75% of them, are played in the South,
yeah.
in the Southeast region. You know what I'm saying? Between like 6 or 7 states. You follow me? So now people are calling them. You book Johnny Taylor, and then you got Johnny Taylor, and then you go get a couple of opening people, and you call it a blues show. When really, what is blues? B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland, Lil Milton, Z.Z. Hill, Bobby Rush, Buddy Guy. Those are blues singers.
Yeah,
Willie Clayton ain't no damn blues singer.
yeah.
I'm just saying, you know. Calvin Richardson is an R&B singer who came from a major record label. Just happens to be playing a large percentage of his shows on this circuit.
Yeah. But
You
can
know what I'm
somebody,
saying?
let me ask you this question, Dan. Can somebody say, because a lot of people say they come from the R&B side without being on a major record label. Can they say there was an R&B artist without being on a major? They just sung R&B. They weren't an R&B artist if you weren't signed with a major record label, correct? Or am I wrong?
Not necessarily, because you had some people that have gone with independent labels that have had hit records. But really, the major label push is what established you as a national artist. Okay, so you take, for example, we're on tour now, the Blues Is All Right tour.
Yeah.
Right? You got Calvin Richardson, Tucker, King George, Pokey Bear. Then you have Lenny, who really was with a pop man, Tower of Power. You follow me?
Yeah.
Because I Love You was one of the biggest R&B songs in the world.
Yeah.
But it's still, people still associate it with that Southern sound because it fits the demographic of people that are living in these areas. So people will take Lenny. I've seen Lenny go do a show with Average White Band and War and another big band, SOS. And then he'll fly and do a show with Mel Waiters, Bobby Rush, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sing a whole different lineup. Because the end of the day is we all, even though we do it for fun and we enjoy it, we do it to make a living. So the money's green. It don't matter where it comes from. If it comes from Mississippi, Louisiana, East Texas, or Seattle, Washington, it's still green. You know? And so that's where we at with it. Like Calvin Richardson has never recorded a Southern Soul song. Not of his. He sang on some songs with people. You follow me?
Yeah. Yeah, because he considers himself a soul singer because he won't say he's
R&B.
He's soul.
It's R&B. You know, We Gonna Love Tonight was with Eric Benet. You know, There Goes My Baby was recorded and written by him, but Charlie Wilson made it a huge song by singing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's Calvin's song.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? So it's all connected, man, and associated
Yeah.
with the politics and the you know, the way that the industry works. And at the end
Yeah.
of the day, man, the industry is all about selling. With radio, radio ain't about what kind of music they play. It's about advertising dollars. You know, they look at the area where a station is, the demographics of it. They see what the people like, and that's what they put on that station. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
got some radio stations that I used to listen to as a kid, like WLAC in Nashville. Is talk radio now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that
Mm-hmm.
station broke a lot of artists, broke a lot of gospel artists, broke a lot of soul artists and blues
Mm-hmm.
singers back in the day. So it's all about, man, the learning and being educated about what you into, you know. And the unfortunate thing for some of us that had the opportunity to make a living doing what we love to do, we don't expand our knowledge of what we into.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But let me
We
ask
did
you
a
this
break-
question. Let me ask you this question about, and I say this about Southern Soul because I'm over here in Southern Soul. Like I said, you've been in the music business for a long time. Would you agree or disagree that in this genre of music, right, it lessens the value if anybody can come in and just do whatever without any structure, guidance, or discipline? Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Okay.
The music industry as a whole just started recognizing Southern Soul as a
Okay.
genre of music. If you had gone 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and typed in Southern Soul, Googled Southern Soul, it would have pulled up Johnny Taylor, Tyrone Davis, right?
Yeah.
Right. You wouldn't have seen some of the artists on Google. You wouldn't have seen them on Google.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the industry wasn't recognizing, okay? But
Mhm.
once people in the up higher in the radio programmers and stuff start seeing, hey, some of these guys are living better than some of these cats you hearing and seeing every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Financially.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about this music is I compare it to quartet gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you had Mighty Clouds, Keynotes, Willie Banks and the Messengers. Then you came along. Every 10 years or so, things change in the music industry. Then you
Yeah.
had the Cat Spirituals. Then 10 years later, you got Lee Williams come
Uh-huh.
along and be the top man singing the same songs that he sung 20 years before. So, but
Mhm.
here's the thing about it. This music and the quartet gospel, in my opinion,
Yeah.
is the only music that anybody can sing it, anybody can play it. When I say play it, like radio, like anybody can promote it. Like, I don't care how much money you got. If you call CAA or ICM or Universal or William Morris trying to book, I'm just going to use the R&B, say the Keith Sweats or the Charlie Wilsons or Anthony Hamiltons or Fantasias. You're gonna have to. They're gonna do. You got to put in a reference sheet.
Yeah.
If you go to any of these arenas, NRG Arena or the arena in Sugar Land or somewhere, it don't matter if you got the money. Yeah, they're going to give you the application. But in that application, which is going to be 20 pages or 30 pages thick, it's going to have on their reference sheet. You got to give 8 to 10 references of buildings that you've done business with, that you've had your name on the contract, just for them to even accept you in this building. Now, sometimes people go and they have relationships and they know people that know somebody or they know somebody and they're able to get into it. But then once you get into it and you happen to book these people, then when you get their production rider and you see that you can't just go hire a DJ with 2 speakers and a turntable and a couple of microphones and
Mhm.
put them together a sound system, then you be like, oh, wow, man, what I
Yeah.
get myself into. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because the
Yeah.
game changes. The bigger the artist, the game changes. The thing
Mhm.
about Southern Soul is you can get people that go in a bedroom, record a record, get some DJs to play it on social media, get a couple of radio stations to play it, and all of a sudden they traveling, getting $1,500, $2,500 a show.
Yeah.
You know, then when they come out and see the guys that have made this thing evolve, like a Calvin or a Tucker or Sir Charles or TK or Willie Clayton or somebody, and they hear, oh, they getting this or they getting that or they getting, well, everybody else getting it, I may as well charge too. It don't
Yeah.
work like that.
Exactly. And you know what? And you know what I do, Danny boy? And when they tell me that, I'll go off on them, man. You know, I got PTSD. So my PTSD, it kicks in when they sit up here and say PTSD. Shit, I've been to war 4 times. When they
like my brother.
Yeah, you're damn right. When they say something like that, you know, I mean, that's dumb to me. You know, you can't compare yourself to no Tucker, Calvin, and all. You can't compare yourself to these guys, man. When you don't have a piece of a hit, not let alone a hit, a piece of a hit. You think because you went to your cousin's in them backyard and people was dancing with you, oh man, you can sing, bro. But when you go in front of a real artist, they look like they looking at you like you got a third eye in between your head. Like, who the hell is this guy right here? Where's Tucker? Where's Calvin Richardson? Where's King George? Where's these guys? And I don't believe in this is a music business. I don't believe in giving nobody no chance. You know, this ain't the time. This ain't time to chance it. This ain't time. Not what my money is not. So if you want a chance, you come and do a free show. Come and do a free show. Why would I pay you when you can't put no? You're gonna be singing to the chair. What am I gonna pay you for?
Well, I tell people that I've grown up with, and I've learned, unlike you, you're a little bit bolder than me. I'm bold, but I learned that some things is not worth saying to some people because they don't really want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? But I tell people all the time, the whole thing about the music industry. I heard Lisa Knowles, a good friend of mine, who came into a situation with her mother and grandmother's gospel group as a kid and ended up being, quote unquote, the star of the group. But then she recorded and done some stuff with James Fortune now. And she said one time when Facebook was getting popular that I want to do something to teach people on the quartet circuit the business of the music industry. And that's what we failed to learn as artists, musicians, managers, security, whatever. This is business. And it don't matter what you're singing, whether you're singing gospel, rap, country, or whatever. The business is still the same.
Exactly.
Learn the business of the music. Anybody can go and pick up the back end for an artist and cuss a promoter out if you're $100 short.
Exactly.
That ain't business.
Yeah.
But can you set your ass on the phone and put a tour together?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can you get this artist some endorsements for what they've done? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, that. So people get it confused, but I learned, man, that it really ain't important for me to try to explain my opinion to people. So I just do what I do and try to be the best and be great, not good at what I do, so that the work speaks for me. So when people see it, when people say, and then the thing about doing good and being great, Kevin, is you're going to always have those people, y'all call them haters. I just call them people that don't understand, you know, because they be over there looking in and don't really know how you doing what you're doing. And they try to find something negative with what you're doing. You can find something wrong with anything that you look at. You can look at something perfect. And if your mindset is negative, you can find something that you don't like about it. But it ain't about what we think. It's about what the public thinks.
But see, on the other hand, with me, Daddy boy, I don't respond well to despondency. Just because you have low spirits and low self-esteem, that ain't got nothing to do with me being a promoter. Or I don't respond to your opportunistic proclivities. Just because you want to do something, you feel I should give you a chance. No, I'm not with the banality that lose. I'm not with none of that. I'm cut and dry. Okay, first of all, okay, who I got? Calvin, Tucker, who? Okay, well, I might put you on the show. So, well, it'd be $1,500. So why would I pay you $1,500 when the show is already paid for? When nobody's
look.
Yeah, well, nobody's never heard of you. Not even the cats and dogs in the town. Nobody's never even heard of you. But you want to call me and talk about I want to be on that show. But man, hold on. Let me say this right here. I had an artist, and I ain't gonna say his name unless he make me say his name. We stand up the radio station, right? So he get on Facebook, complain about people not doing this. I said, okay, well, look, I'm doing a free show for the community, right? I'm paying for it. Me and the radio owner, we're gonna pay for everything, right? Come down, man. I give you some gas money to get you a room, man. But we're not paying nobody. Just come on down. He didn't even respond, right? So About 2 months later, a flyer pop up, man. Who all you got for that show? I said, not you. You think I'm gonna put you on the show when you have an opportunity, because it was a free show. Even though I had LJ on the show, you know, I had some people on the show, but it was a free show. You didn't want to come for that show, but it was an opportunity for you to get on the stage in front of people. A lot of promotions not gonna give you the opportunity. Talk to you know Julius. You good friends with Julius.
Yes, I am.
You don't give a damn about your despondency. He don't give a damn about your proclivities. None of that. If you ain't put no asses in the seat for them tours, you can forget it. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, he has some people that he showed grace to, but it still has to be some value. My friend Stacey Adams, you know Stacey, got a saying that I've adopted from him. You can always learn from people that everybody got to cut the grass. Ain't no way around cutting the grass. Now, when you cut the grass, some people are in a position. You mentioned Calvin Richardson and Tucker and them guys on this circuit. Yeah. So some people got the big John Deere tractor.
That's right.
That they can cut the grass easy with now, because they done made it that way. Then you got some people, like you say, like LJ now. LJ got the zero turn. Yeah. You follow? But then there's some artists
that's got to push the damn lawnmower.
Yeah, but they don't want to push the mow.
Yeah.
Because riding the zero turn seems easier.
Yeah.
You know, getting on that John Deere tractor, hell, you can lay back with the air on and let it run itself. So they don't want to do that. So, and Stacey is right. A lot of artists, new artists, always feel that, not all of them, I can't say that about everybody, I'm just saying some feel like that they're entitled.
Yeah.
So, and you absolutely right. I had a conversation with somebody last week about the tour, The Blues Is All Right. Man, why they won't give me this? Why? And you absolutely right. Why would you? Because you basically giving somebody some money.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And then artists don't understand, and the public don't understand. When you promote a show, these shows are expensive. You ain't just got the artist fee. You ain't just got to send them a deposit and stuff. You got building costs. You can't just go and put a deposit down on the bill. You got all kinds of shit that goes along with a building, a real building.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Then you got production costs. You got flights. You got hotel. It's a lot of stuff. You got advertising. And some people don't do good with shows because they think because social media is so big that they can just take some flyers and a video and put it on social media, and then they go spend $200 on radio advertising and think they're going to have 2,000 people.
You sure not?
No, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? It's really like an art to this.
Yeah.
A touch that you got to have to make this stuff work. So you're absolutely right. Artists inbox me, call me all the time. And the thing that gets me with it, and I'm literally, Kevin, I'm not just saying this, I think you know my spirit. Yeah. I'm probably one of the nicest and most helpful guys that do this. I agree. But when a person hits me up that I don't know and say, "What's up? Let's work." Why I want to respond to that?
Yeah.
You already showing me that you got an arrogance or a negative spirit about you, or either ignorance that you just don't know how to discuss business. It could be one or the other, but it's a turnoff to me.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? Then I've had artists that come to me and say, man, put me on that show. I come do your show, just pay my band. Then they come to the show and they see a lot of people. They can see 2,000 people.
Off your efforts.
And think that 2,000 is 5. Because they ain't never really done this before. Exactly. They ain't seen these kind of people. They looking at 2,000 people. It look like 5,000.
Yeah.
And then they say, man, I know you can give me some money. Yeah, I probably can, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't done no show like this. And so, okay, but you asked me to put you on the show. Yeah. So if you come to me and you ask me to help you, then don't tell me how to help you. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So what I start doing is, most of the time, unless it's somebody I just really, really feel something spiritual about or that I'm really cool with, I don't do it no more. Because then when you don't do that, you becomes that old crooked bad guy that did that. All the shit that comes, the conversations start coming in, you know. But what I do is I just live it down. I keep working, and everything somebody say, you know, hell, next year I do the same thing. Well, how many times can you tell that same story?
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they already know, bro. Look, I'm bulletproof. I don't care nothing about that old nonsense. What they be talking about. Look, it is my money. It is my money. My jurisdiction is pretty much in your face. So that's why I just tell them if you don't like it, oh well. But let me ask you this question about Calvin Richardson. So you said y'all go way back. So
Yeah.
how does I know you right there at the hip with Calvin Richardson because y'all really close friends. So how do he select people around him? Because I know he's very fastidious. I know he's very attentive to who's around him and what goes on because he come from that world.
You mean about his immediate circle, his
Yeah,
staff?
yeah, and about his
See,
production and everything.
see is to me, and I want to choose my words correctly, because people sometimes take things and translate it the wrong way. So
Yeah,
Calvin is probably to me the standard of what being a great artist, not a good artist, but
yeah,
being a great artist means.
yeah,
He's very selective about the way he looks. You know, he's very selective about the way his clothes appear on him. He's
yeah.
very selective about the way he sounds. He's selective about the way his records sound. He's
Hmm.
selective about the way he travels. You follow what I'm saying? All
Yeah,
that means a lot to him. And likewise, he's selective about the people that he have underneath him, because to be an artist, man, and be a great artist, or even a good artist, but to be a great artist is very stressful.
yeah.
See, once you get a hit record, people expect for you to continue to do the same thing. And
Hmm.
that stuff that don't happen easily or all the time. So you got to be choosy about uh who you let write your songs,
Yeah.
or who you let engineer for you, who you
Hmm.
let, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
likewise, you got to be careful about who's traveling with you, because keep in mind, man, one of the things that I see people just be reckless with
yeah,
is that we out here, man, got our lives out every weekend or every day
yeah,
trying to make a living for the people that depend on us. So for me to have, it's important to me to know who's driving.
yeah.
You follow me?
That's right.
It's important to me to know who the security is.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
important. It's important, and I'm saying this in for me, because this is the way Calvin thinks.
yeah.
It's important to him to know who his sound engineer is.
Hmm.
You know, so he hires his own sound engineer because he wants to sound a certain way.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
wants to look a certain way. He don't want to just come out on stage no more and sing his songs and go. He wants the people to get a show,
yeah.
because that's what the people keep paying for.
That
You know what
production.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if you
Hmm.
right, and if you think about it, promoters like Julius now, they have taken this thing to a level where, excuse me, they gotten people in the frame of mind of paying $100 or
Yeah.
$125 for a ticket.
Hmm.
Whereas some people still expect for you to do a show and have $15 tickets, $25.
Yeah.
I got a show May 28th with Calvin, Willie Clayton, King George, Stacey Adams, uh, Calvin's nephew Justin, and my artist, Kirby Smooth. And a
Yeah.
lady called me and said, uh, I'm calling to see about them tickets for the blues show. I said, okay. Well, I'm from so and so. How much are they? I told, what? I ain't never paid more than $30 for them. You crazy. You trying to get over. Well, how the hell am I trying to get over? Because I'm charging $80 for a ticket.
Yeah.
You follow me? It's the
Hmm.
mindset.
Yeah.
It's the mindset.
Hmm.
It's the mindset of the people, the consumers. It's the mindset of some of the artists, where they feel they ain't looked at the fact that Tucker done this for the last 12 or 15 years
Yeah.
and built his brand up to the point where he can get what he's getting.
Yeah. He
You
changed
know
the
what I'm
game.
saying?
I heard you
Yeah,
said Tucker changed the game.
they ain't looking at the fact that
Yeah.
Calvin's been in this 22 years
Yeah.
and he's had a top 10 records and stuff. They ain't looking at the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
just looking at, oh, well, if he charging that, or if so and so charging this, then I need to be right there and get that money. Well, but why are you gonna charge somebody $5,000 when you can't draw but 100 people at $20 a head by yourself?
Yeah.
See, now if
Exactly.
you get on the show with them, this is what I mean by when you ask me about depreciating the value. When
Yeah.
everybody can do it,
Yeah.
it starts making them think that their value is just that. They start thinking more highly of
Hmm.
what they've done because they able to open up a show for Calvin
Yeah.
or Tucker or
King
George. King
George. Yeah.
George is an exception. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
George is that guy that comes along every 10 or 15 years that bam, he's an
Yeah.
exception.
He can skip. He skipped.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people don't know his backstory.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
him being Young Holiday and
Yeah.
all the stuff he went through
Hmm.
before that song was out a year or so before people really caught on to it.
Yeah.
It didn't just happen overnight like people think.
Yeah.
But when people don't know that, they
Hmm.
share their opinion or they conversation about it. So,
Hmm.
you see George getting this, well, let me charge. Okay, right. You got a song that's being played in 3 counties. Okay, maybe 4. Somebody call you somewhere because they uncle or somebody played it at the family reunion. It's a nice song. They book you, they put you on the show with one of these guys.
Hmm.
Okay, you do good. Okay, yeah. But if they brought you back by yourself, can you draw 500 of those 2,000 or
They're gonna be
3,000 people
they're
that
gonna
was
be
there?
singing to the chairs and the janitors. Singing up.
No, but I'm just saying, man. So for me, it's not important for me to be trying to share
Yeah.
what my opinions about it to certain people because they really don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In their
Hmm.
mind, because of their the way that they set up and the egos and stuff, they start saying, well, the first thing come out of their mouth, oh, he hating. No, I'm not hating on you. I actually like you. I just don't want to give you $2,000 when I don't have to.
Yeah. Exactly. You're gonna lose
You
your
know what
ass
I'm
off there.
saying?
You might well go outside and just throw it up in the air and give it to the birds and
Yeah.
shit because you're gonna lose it.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me
So,
ask you. So let me ask you. How do you feel about perfunctory music? Music that have no meaning. Because you've been in the business for a while. Music has to have meaning, right? Words have to have meaning. You have to mean something. You just can't get up there and just be saying some old crazy stuff and thinking people are supposed to just buy that, or thinking because you got. I see it all the time too. I got 3 million views. I got 2 million downstreams and all that. They don't. What does that mean to you, man? You've been in the
well,
game for a while.
a lot of times people looking at you, it don't mean that they looking at you to support you
Yeah.
or buy. They looking at you just to see what you're doing or to
Yeah.
see how crazy you look or what you saying or how good you are. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you back to something. When I came up in gospel music, quartet was the thing. Boom. It was the thing nationally. You had the Mighty Clouds of Joy. You had Willie Neal Johnson in the keynotes. You had Willie Banks, Jackson Southern Airs, Williams Brothers, all these groups. Every one of those groups had their own identity. When you hear the Canton Spirituals now, even though Harvey's voice is not like it used to be, you still know it's the Canton Spirituals.
Yeah.
You follow
Hmm.
me?
Yeah.
When you heard, I ain't gonna even go, I'm just gonna go back 30 years. When you heard Johnny Taylor, Tyrone Davis, Marvin Cease, Mel Waiters, Willie Clayton, you knew it was them.
Yeah. They had a
Because they all
signature.
had
Yeah.
it don't matter. Willie Clayton is the king of singing cover tunes.
Yeah.
But you still know a Willie Clayton song
That's
when you
right.
hear it because he has his own identity. When
Hmm.
you hear Calvin Richardson, you know it's Calvin Richardson.
That's
When
right.
you hear Tucker, you know it's Tucker.
Yeah.
When you hear Pokey Bear, you know it's Pokey.
Yeah.
You follow? When you
Well,
hear
Sir
Sir
Charles.
Charles,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know it's him. TK Soul, you know it's him.
Yeah.
Now people put songs out and they hear somebody that's got quote unquote a hit record. Let me go in the studio and make me a song like that.
Yeah.
You don't know who it is or what it is because it has
Mhm.
no identity. They just
Yeah.
trying to copy off what they think made somebody else. Every young artist now is trying to record like King George.
Yeah.
That's George's style. That's
Yeah.
George's thing. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
his thing.
Yeah.
You follow me? Then
Oh yeah.
everybody think, oh, let me get him on a record with me. Then bam, I'm gonna be. Nah, it don't mean that.
Nope.
It don't mean that. You
Nope.
follow what I'm saying?
They sure
So
don't.
again, for me, the thing with me, and you asked me about Calvin, Calvin is all about being set apart. And the way that you be set apart is everything that you do needs to be different. It needs to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So how would I look if he's dressing and looking the way that he is, and I'm walking around him with no damn swag,
Yeah.
shoes muddy, gym shoes dirty, shoestring dirty? Hell, he ain't gonna want me around him. You follow me?
Yeah. Yeah. I call
Yeah,
Calvin
so
Mr. Quint. I call him Mr. Quintessential. That's what I call him. That's what I call
well,
him. He's an example, man. He's an example of to me of high importance, high level when it comes to this music business. You know, he's non-capricious. You know, he's the type of person that you can talk to. And Calvin has never changed, man. Ever since I met Calvin Richardson, I used to listen to him sing what's her name? Angela. What's that girl name? He got songs
Angie
with
Stone,
Angie Stone. And I was like, man, you know, but I never thought of ever meeting these guys. When I met Calvin Richardson, I said, man, Calvin Richardson, cool. And he's never changed from day one. From day one, he's never changed. He's never changed.
Because you handle yourself or conduct your business a certain way.
Yeah.
Does not mean that you are a way that people want to perceive you. Only narrow-minded and negative people look at a person and say, oh, he think he this. He think, well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you as a person want to live in a nice house or ride in a nice car or wear a nice jacket, then why shouldn't I?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So those people are just negative people and narrow-minded thinking people. Hell, if I do a show, I want the best show I can have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want the best crowd I can have.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be doing shows and want me to fail?
Yeah.
Unless you just negative. You follow what I'm saying? So the way that I look at it is, if every show on the Blues Is All Right tour is successful and sold out, or 75%, 60%.
Yeah.
If all of them do good, then hell, that means that when I do a show, that's gonna carry over to what I do. Especially if I'm using some of the same artists. So if Kevin Young brings a show to Austin or out there where you live and it does good, then hell, I can bring that same show here to Mississippi or somewhere and do good with it. You know, why would I want you to have 150 people and you done spent $100,000? Unless I'm just a negative, messy person. And some people are like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've heard artists, man, when we roll up and stuff, and people say they make they look, y'all, he don't need to do all that. They don't need to do this.
With the security, with security and all that. I said, man, let that man be great.
Well, the thing about it is that no, he may not need to do it, but that's what he wants to do.
That's right.
And that stuff sets you apart. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to do that, just don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, spend your money on what you want to spend it on, but don't complain. Kevin Young's check and his bank account is in you and your wife's name, or whatever.
Yeah.
That means y'all can spend it however you want to.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying? So it's the mindset, man. And once people on the Southern Soul Circuit learn to understand the business of the music industry, they'll start understanding that these artists that are making a way or bridging the gap between R&B and so, because now you're starting to see, Calvin has always sung with R&B artists, Tank and Tyrese and different people. But now you're starting to see these guys on shows with R&B legends.
Yep.
You follow what I'm saying?
That's true. I see it. Yeah.
Right. So the thing is, though, when you go to these shows, you got to understand that being on a show, if you open up for Fantasia or Tank or Keith Sweat or somebody, that this ain't like being out in the field in Utica, Mississippi, where you in the mud on a flatbed trailer.
Exactly.
2 DJs speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you go in there, you got to approach the production of it differently.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do that? You either learn it or you get somebody that knows it. You follow me?
That's why I say, that's why I say a lot of them just need to quit, man. A lot of them need to quit. No, seriously. A lot of them are hurting Southern Soul, man. I'm telling you, a lot of them hurting Southern Soul. They need to quit. Just because you want to do something don't necessarily mean you want to do it. My son wanted to play football. I said, no, football is not your sport. Basketball is your sport. You know, I know what's best for him. And a lot of these people, okay, let me ask you this question. Now, you're a promoter / you're a production manager. So how would you respond if somebody say, well, It don't matter what Danny Boy say. He's not an artist. He's never made a record. How would you respond to that?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
I actually have my friend
Okay.
and I, Ferris
Okay.
Evans Jr.
Yeah.
Ferris we have a record label. He had an online record label, Fountain of Life. He incorporated me, brought me in, Fountain of Life, Danny Boy, and we record artists.
Yeah.
I have an artist, Kirby Smooth. We got records on a young lady that we doing now that's backup singer for John Legend.
Yeah.
Don't get no bigger than that. Carrie Lee,
Yeah.
a friend of mine in Dallas, Gayla Cope, who was a former member of the gospel group Truth That's. Ferris has records with Yolanda Adams, everybody. So just because a person, you haven't seen them on the front of it, does not mean they don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Now, again, you ask me how do I respond to that?
Yeah.
I respond to it with them being egotistical or having such an ignorant spirit till they don't really want nobody to help them. See,
Yeah.
a lot of people want people to tell them what sounds good. They don't really want you to help them. They
Yeah.
want to come to you and want you to put money into them, but they don't really want you to tell them what they need to do.
No
They
constructive
just want to
criticism.
yeah,
Yeah.
they just want to use your relationships. People do it to me all the time. People call me and ask me, "Hey, you got a number on so and so? Can you get Keith Sweat?" You already know I can get Keith Sweat. That's why you
Yeah.
calling me.
Yeah.
But then they don't want to do the business through me.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See,
Hmm.
so it's just them. I don't respond. The way that I respond to it is I let them do what they do and I keep doing what I'm doing and I let them watch what I'm
Yeah.
doing. You see what I'm saying? Because sooner
Yeah.
or later, they going to either say, this shit ain't working, I need to quit,
Yeah.
or I really need to pay attention and learn.
Yeah. You know what I tell them?
follow-
I don't have to have a medical degree to tell you I got a headache or my back hurt or my stomach. I don't have to be a doctor to do that. So when people go to church, when them old folks say bless their heart, bless their soul, that means that your ass is not singing good to them people, and they just letting you make it up there. You don't
Yeah.
have to play
Hey,
basketball.
Kevin,
look, my wife ain't played a lick of basketball. When she watched basketball, he fouled him. You don't have to actually play the game to, you know what I'm saying? Because in music business, you listen with your eyes and your ears.
Well, you mentioned about going to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
If you got a problem with your heart, who do you go to?
You're going to go to a cardiologist.
Right. You're not going to go to a gynecologist, are you?
Are you sure not?
Both doctors. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, it's about being ignorant is not a bad thing. It just means that you have a lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
understanding of what you really want to know. The thing that stops us is the ego
Yeah.
and the pride.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't want certain people to help us.
And that's sad.
We want the Jew that's wearing the suit that's in the magazine to come down and sign us. Now he can stick a contract in front of us and we don't read it. We don't go get a lawyer or nothing.
Yeah.
And we just sign it. Then
Yeah.
hell, 5 years from later, we still be living in the same place and he be getting all the royalties and everything. But if I come to you and tell you, hey, let me show you how to hook up your publishing.
Yeah.
Or let me show you how to really register your music online where you can really get paid. They don't want to hear that.
Now you trying to get over. You trying to get something for free. You trying to get something. Yeah.
You know, so but because you want to get paid for what you have earned the right to be paid for does not mean that you want to get over. Hell, if I put you on a show and I get you $5,000, then why can't you give me my 500, my 10%?
Yeah. Don't you, you know what, man? Look, you know what? I'm telling you, bro. I said the same thing. You know, people call me all the time, you know, because people know one thing about K Young is I'm gonna tell you straight up. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm just gonna tell you. So a lot of promoters call me. I get these people gigs. I get them gigs. I said, yeah, man, put them on the show. I got Tucker a gig one time. Tucker called me and said, man, what's your cash app? I was like, why? And I told him my cash app ring. I was like, what you do that for? He said, man, this promoter called me and said, hey, man, I was asking about you. He said, yeah, man, put Tucker on the show, man. You're gonna hit. I had a pretty good turnout. I said, oh, okay. You know, I wasn't expecting that. But to me,
but you just mentioned Tucker.
Yeah.
The mindset.
Exactly.
Tucker understands.
Exactly. But
Tucker understands.
yeah, I get these people shows all the time. I don't never call them. I don't never say nothing. But then I call them, put them on the show. They want to say, "Give me $2 million." Man, yeah, you serious? I got you that gig down there. You never said nothing. So you can't come do a show. I don't want no outrageous discounts. But I don't want you to come tell me no $10 an hour. You know you can't draw on a piece of paper. I don't want you to well, you know you can't draw on a piece of paper. Come on, man.
I gotta use that one. But again, again, man, it goes back to something you and I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Relationships.
Yeah.
The relationships are more important than money
Exactly.
at certain times. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know how to really build good relationships.
Mhm.
And you have to build relationships being humble. You
Yeah.
know, most of the time, I did wrestling promotions with.
I was finna ask you about that. Yeah, that was my next thing. I said, man, let's go to wrestling, man, because this is what I heard. Now, I'm from Arkansas. Look, Jerry Lawler, Billy Dundee, Cowboy Frankie Lane, they were my boys, man. I heard you had something to do with wrestling out in the Mid-South, man. How was that, man? Those were my boys.
My friend Corey Macklin, God rest his soul, he passed away a few years ago in a car accident. Corey and I met. Corey was 18. I think I was 20. He was working for the Tri-State Defender, and I was doing the gospel stuff. Corey had got into gospel at WLOK. So we met. We remained friends. Corey was the first black announcer, ring announcer for wrestling. People don't know that. He was the first one, and especially here in the South, in Mid-South.
Yeah.
Corey, over the years, had made good friendship with Jerry King Lawler and Lance Russell and those guys. A lot of people didn't know it, but Jerry Jarrett and Jerry Lawler owned Mid-South Wrestling after years of being in it, and some going into the 90s and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So Corey came to me after Lawler was in WWE and doing his thing and stuff, but he would still come back and do shows here, wrestle and stuff, right? But Corey was basically running everything. So Corey came to me and he was like, "Hey, look, man, why don't you work with me with my advertising agency and help me with the wrestling promotion?" I'm like, "Okay, cool. I love wrestling." So we would go and do wrestling matches, shows we call them, in these small towns because WWE and the other big wrestling companies have the mainstream stuff sold up. But it's just like Southern Soul and Quartet Gospel. There's still a market for the small man, the small towns.
Yeah.
So we would go to like Haytown, Missouri, Caruthersville, Dyersburg, Holly Springs, and do wrestling matches. And doing that, I got a chance to work with Jerry and Brian Christopher and Doug Gilbert and just all these guys I watched. Same thing, man, with me, with looking on TV, watching BT Video Soul with Donnie Simpson. I never thought I'd be friends with Keith Sweat. Never thought I would actually meet him. I never thought I could meet Teddy Riley or be able to call Johnny Gill or these people. You know what I'm saying? But here I am, able to do this. So it's the same thing. So I'm here looking at Jerry like, damn, this the king. Every Saturday at 11 o'clock, we rush to the TV.
That's right.
To watch the king. Then I see Bill Dundee, and I'm looking, man, superstar Bill Dundee, but I'm right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got the bags. I'm in the dressing room. I'm in the locker room. I'm hearing how they plan the matches and stuff. So, but there was this guy, a Jewish guy, very wealthy guy, who was involved in it. And he told me, he said to me, he said, "I'm going to tell you something because I want you to be successful. And I probably wouldn't say this to another black man." He said, "Black men do business with their feelings on their sleeve." And I asked him what he mean. He said, "You don't have to like a person. You don't really have to know them to make money with them. All you got to do is respect what they have to offer you, what they bring to the table." And he said, "The black male ego is a dangerous thing. It keeps black men and black people from progressing because the man is the head of everything." That's scripture. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. And I thought about that. I shake hands sometime, man, smile and talk to people that I know waiting for me to fall or say stuff negative about me. But if they got something to offer me, some value to what I'm doing, I'll deal with them. Because at the end of the day, their opinion don't matter. What matters is the bottom line. You
Mhm.
follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So think about this, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
Black people only make up about 12.8% of the
Yeah.
American population. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yeah.
But we
13%.
spend
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but we spend the most money in the American economy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that's a little ironic?
Yeah.
You know why? You know why? Because
Competition.
we don't want to spend money with other black businesses.
Yeah.
We'd rather go buy that shirt from
Mhm.
the Italian or the Jewish guy,
Yeah.
you know, because we don't
Yeah.
want this guy. Now, all this stuff is being shipped from the same places, same warehouses, same
Mhm.
companies. You know what I'm saying? They just put
Yeah.
different logos on it.
Yeah.
But
It's sad.
we rather not do that. A friend of mine who's helping me with the show. He's
Mhm.
a young man by the name of Trap, promoter of the year. I'm shouting Trap out. I've
Okay.
known him since he's like 4th, 5th grade. He helping me with the show because his family bought a lot of tickets and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he promoting, he doing his thing. And he told me, say that he's like, man, people don't really see or understand what you do and how you do it. That's because they're not really watching for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They looking to be negative.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But he was like, I admire you. I watch you. I look at what you do. I see what you do. Another guy told me, say, man, guy told me I had a show a month or so ago with King George. First time I ever came to Memphis. Took him to a building. Fire marshal came. Stopped people from coming in.
Mm.
Okay? People that bought tickets that couldn't get in, I refunded every one of them.
Yeah.
But somebody goes and say, oh, he didn't do it right. I won't never support him again. Some people came to George and George say, well, hell, if I get my money and got it before I got to the show, and I get to the show and have a sold out show, what more can I ask for as an artist?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What more do you want?
Yeah. I had a lady tell me buy her tickets 3 days before the show. And of course she was sitting in the back because I go by OML, first come, first serve. She told somebody, I ain't never going to Kevin's show because he had me sitting way in the back. We should have bought your damn ticket 2 months ago.
Well, but I'm saying again, that's just
crazy.
That's people looking to be negative. You go to a concert, you got these guys that's putting on a great show. They got all these songs, these hit records, and you sitting back there and people stand up. Y'all make them sit down. Who the hell
at a concert. At a concert, bro. Come on, man.
Down.
Yeah.
And you mad because we ain't sending security up there to snatch people down.
Yeah, I don't do it either. Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Don't go. If you got that kind of spirit, just don't come.
Yeah. That's what I told this one. This one guy said, man, I bought reserved table mat up front. I couldn't see. I said, well, I saw you sitting down all night here. I'm not going to tell nobody to stand up. I'm going to tell nobody to sit down, man. It's a concert. This is not church. Stand up and dance.
Hey, man, look, it's all kinds of stuff happen at these shows. You have people come in, take people names off tables, all that stuff. Then they get mad at the promoter.
Oh, not mine, bro. No.
I'm just saying, stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, people just want to be negative. So what I do is you ask me how I deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't respond to it. I just try to do right. And the people that support me, they can honestly tell you that I've tried to do that.
Yeah.
And that's all you really can do, man, as a promoter or an entertainer.
Yeah.
I've heard some people say, guy get up there and sing 60 minutes. Oh, he didn't sing so-and-so. I ain't
exactly.
I ain't like it. He ain't say, damn.
Exactly. Bro, hey, look, Danny boy, at my shows, I walk around with a clipboard and I make an announcement. I say all the tables are numbered and all those tables are paid for. If you move a number, you are leaving here. You're getting out of here. Yeah, if you move a number from that table, I know exactly where they are because I numbered them. You're gonna leave this show. So sit in your seat that you paid for.
Right.
Well, and black folks don't want to be embarrassed. And I'm walking around with the clipboard. Yeah.
For me, people deal with things and handle things the way that they do. For me, to lose my integrity and my character to be arguing with another grown person about something that they know they wrong about. I just rather let them be wrong and correct it with the person that's right and not deal with that person no more. I tell everybody, God gonna always send you somebody, man. When you got those
Right.
negative people or people that don't want to support you, God always got way more good people
Oh
than
yeah.
he do those people
Oh
that
yeah.
wanna see you fail. And the
Yeah.
thing for me is, man, the most important thing for me is staying close to God, providing for my family, and keeping a good relationship with the cats that I've worked for and worked
That
with.
matters.
See, I
Yeah.
understand that Calvin and I are friends.
Yeah. First.
We were friends first,
Exactly.
but when I work for him, I am his employee.
Yeah. Yeah. You on
So
duty that night. That's right.
he's my employer.
Yeah.
So I give him the best that I got with my job responsibility. And
Yeah.
I do the same thing with Keith. Keith and I are friends. I go to Keith's house, his kids, everything. But if he called me to do a job, I go to do the best job. You know why? Because I want Keith to look at me and say, hey, this little so and so, because that's the way he talk. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
He on his business. He do his thing.
Yeah.
That keeps the relationship good.
Yeah.
And that's anybody. I'm
Yeah.
going out and do some shows, man. A group of friends of mine of different ethnic backgrounds have a promotion company. I am 3 in Big Cat.
Yeah.
They got some shows. They got about 16, 20
Is
shows.
that Paul Beasley or Jay Willer? I was
No, no,
gonna ask you
no.
about that.
Paul Beasley. No, Paul Beasley is the guy that I was asking you about the other day when we were talking, because he
Yeah.
was like one of my icons. He passed away this week.
Mhm.
Paul Beasley was a member of the Gospel Keynotes, and then the Mighty
Okay.
Clouds of Joy. Paul
Uh,
Beasley was one of the guys that was one of the first superstars that I knew of, but he was a gospel singer, and I was just mentioning that he had passed. But Jay Wheeler is the Jose Angel Martinez.
yeah.
He's a Puerto Rican songwriter and singer who is coming. Uh, he's at star status now.
Yeah.
Is at #1 and top 5 Hot 100 Latino songs. He's going on tour, and a couple of friends of mine who are involved with this promotion company are putting them on like 16 to 20 cities. And they called me and asked me to be the production manager.
Oh wow.
We actually coming to your area. I know we're going to San Antonio,
Yeah.
Sugarland,
Yeah.
and we coming to Austin. So, I
Okay.
want you to be
I'll
around.
come check
And
you out.
the show is incredible, man. Like,
Okay.
you got to see it with
I'll be there.
all the special effects and the video walls and the lights and stuff. It's like a Vegas type show.
Okay.
And
I'll
that's
be there,
kind of
man.
the vibe. That's kind of the vibe, man, that Calvin, when we talked a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that he wants to bring to this circuit. You know what I'm saying? So, and if we want to make it not just about the songs, we want
Yeah.
it to be the experience, you
Exactly.
know? Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and there's some others. You seen TK, so you seen TK's
Yeah.
show lately
Uh-huh.
with the video wall and
Yeah.
all the stuff in the yeah,
Yeah.
man. So it's all about elevating. And sometimes people be so into what they're doing and caught up into what they want somebody else to allow them to do, that they don't see that some of these guys are opening the way and making a better way
That's right.
for Southern Soul. You follow
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Because with
Yeah.
this radio station, wherever I go, man, I'm always talking about the radio station. People like, man, we loving that radio station, man. We loving it. We just not learning about Southern Soul. We loving it. That's the only radio station we listen to. So I try to tell
Well,
them a lot of
it's
times.
good music. It's
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
music,
Oh
man.
yeah.
It's good
Yeah.
music. You look at
Hmm.
really the only ones that I know, there's only 2 Southern Soul tour promoters that I
Yeah.
know. That's
Yeah.
Julius Lewis
Yeah.
and then Daniel
Daniel
McFadden
McFadden.
started.
Yeah.
He started last year, but Julius
Yeah.
been doing this.
For
This is
30
going
years.
into like his 20th year, yeah,
Yeah.
of the Blues
Yeah.
Is All Right tour.
Yeah.
He did it with Tyrone and Bobby Bland and uh, Lil Milton and Mel Waiters and Marvin, and he's still able to make it happen. Taking these guys and these artists to cities and venues that they probably would never get the opportunity to play in.
Yeah.
Constitution Hall in DC, man.
Hmm.
Like, see, I don't take that for granted. I'm walking around Constitution Hall at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm looking and seeing this is where they were at in 1776.
Yep.
signing the Declaration of Independence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the way my mind works.
Yeah.
Back in the time where you looking at, and I was talking to Bobby Rush, and he would say, I remember when they ain't let no niggas play in Constitution Hall.
Yeah, I remember.
Excuse me. You follow
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So this
I
is
remember
where
that.
my
Yeah.
mind is. It's a grateful state of mind. Instead of saying, oh, he don't need to be on that show. Oh, they should have had me on that show.
Yeah.
That's negativity, man.
It's an
And the way
historical
that
moment. Yeah, that's historical, man. Yeah.
So, you know, so I shout out to the guys that are leading the way. You know, Tucker, King George, Pokey,
Yeah.
Willie, TK, Charles,
Yeah.
my boss man, Calvin Rich. You know, I shout him out. Bobby Rush, 2 Grammys now
Yeah.
at 80 years old.
Yeah.
See,
Now how
so
you
man,
now how you feel about do you feel the female artists are getting their fair shake over here, or do they have to have a hit to really be recognized over here?
this is what I feel. And
Uh-huh.
I hope I say this politically correct
Yeah.
without offending anybody. I think that anybody that has an opportunity to make a living doing something that they love to do ought to be thankful and grateful to God, even if it's part-time. Because
Yeah.
if you able to go, because the record is what's going to get you there.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Calvin, and I'm sticking with Calvin because that's who I work. Calvin ain't Calvin just because he Calvin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Calvin, this guy had some big records. You follow him? Can't Let Go, 68 million views.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
68 million.
Mhm.
Tucker ain't Tucker because he Tucker.
Yeah.
That shit, Side Piece was a hit.
Yeah.
It was a hit. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Zydeco Bounce.
Yeah.
You know, Boom, Boom, Boom.
Mhm.
These were big records, man. Mel Waiters, Hole in the Wall.
Yeah.
Sir Charles, Anybody Lonely, Friday. These were big records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And still
with the
being
ladies,
played today. They still being played today.
yeah, so with the ladies, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to come behind a Denise LaSalle trapped by this thing called love. Betty Wright, you know, No Pain, No Gain. Millie Jackson, Shirley Brown, Woman to Woman. It's hard to come. And you had some ladies like Nelly, Karen Wolf, Sheba Potts Wright, Lacey. Oh my God, Lacey's a beast
Yeah.
vocally. You know what I'm saying? Then there's some girls down your way that I don't really even know. But you know, you got like Jason A, all these girls, they able to go out and
Yeah.
travel.
Westlove.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. They able to go out and travel, man, and make a living doing what they love to do. Now, do I think that promoters, and there's not as many female promoters as they are the male promoters, do I think that promoters could use females on their shows sometime? Yes.
Yeah.
Even though I very seldom do, because I basically, like I told you, my thing is production and the booking. I promote shows when it's convenient for me. So the relationship that I have with some of these guys, you know, I ain't trying to just have a show just to go out and book somebody no more. Just say I'm having a
Just
show.
say you having a show. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying? But yeah, do I think that some of the tour promoters or people can use some of these females? Yeah, and you starting to see more of them come. But
Yeah.
I do also think that the females need to get them that right record. You got like my cousin, Chick Rogers.
Yeah.
Can't nobody else sing
She
Chick.
bad, man. Yeah.
Can't nobody else sing Chick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
follow me? You
Yeah.
know, so, but I do think that the record does play a part. And the reality of it is, no matter how you want to change it, the guys have bigger records.
Yeah.
It ain't just the following, they have bigger records, bigger songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, you know, people say, well, why they gotta always use Pokebell? Hell, because people want to hear Side Piece.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to see Pokey perform. So unless and until you can accomplish some of that, then real promoters, because at the end of the day, it's all business.
Yeah.
You know, promoters are going to be choosy about who they put on shows in certain areas.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you believe one size should fit all?
What do you mean?
As far as
Explain that to
prices. So you feel that an artist price should be the same no matter where they go?
No,
Okay.
no. Oh, you mean like nah? Because well, I look at it from both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
Here's what promoters. I'm gonna try to explain this best way I can from both
Okay.
sides.
Yeah.
Here's what promoters don't understand about the artists. For you to have a great show, that means you gotta hire great people.
Yeah.
You follow me? Great
Mhm.
people cost more.
Yeah.
You follow me? Then if you got travel, do you want to roll somewhere a certain way? If you're a great artist, and you're a headlining artist, you don't necessarily want to pull up a certain way, or you ain't finna drive 14 hours from one show to the next. So what do you mean by that? There's expenses.
Yeah.
Gas is higher. Hotel rooms are higher. You don't want to go stay in the Motel 6. I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So why would a promoter want an artist to depreciate their value just so that he can make money?
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, artists should want the promoters to make money, because if you book me and you make money with me, if you
Coming
doing
back.
this not just one show, yeah, then you'll keep doing business with me.
Repeat business. Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it kind of works both ways. So I
Mhm.
think it has to be a happy medium to whereas it accommodates everybody. But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. On this side of the business, you have people that able to book shows that are not true promoters. They just able to get talent. And the
Yeah.
reason they're able to get talent is because a lot of the artists are very accessible. See, everybody can't call and get Keith Sweat. Everybody can't call and get Charlie Wilson. Everybody can't call and get hell. You can't book Beyonce.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you got the money. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some of these people, some of these artists, I'm saying, hell, you can pull up on them with your income tax check at the gas station
Or your
and book a
PPP
show.
loan. Yeah. Your PPP
Yeah,
loan.
yeah. They ain't got to know nothing about you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
then when you get out there and you got, just say like when George started last year,
Yeah.
everybody was able to get him. Everybody, he was doing a lot of shows in small towns, right?
Yeah.
Well, people were getting him, but they was getting him in places where sound wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Security wasn't good. Da 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 da
Mhm.
da. Then here comes along myself, and then Julius or Daniel, and they say, "Hey man, we want to take you and put you here with these cats, because this is where you need to belong."
Yeah.
Well, hell, now he's out there, good sound, good band,
Professional show.
hospitality.
Professional show.
Yeah, why would he want to depreciate his value and go back to doing what he was doing when he first started? That means he's not really growing, right?
Yeah.
So I hear people say all the time, "Oh, we can't get it. We've been calling, we've been emailing." What? The man is booked.
Yeah.
He don't have any open dates,
Mm-hmm.
but they get offended because they can't get him.
Yeah.
Well, that's because his value has risen.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So, when I first saw Tucker, we was in New Orleans probably about 15 years ago, or maybe a little less. Calvin and Lenny Williams was doing a show in New Orleans in a place. Hell, they was cooking chitlins outside. They had gumbo going. I had never heard of Tucker. But when they called his name, the people down there was like, Tucker. I'm like, who the hell is Tucker?
Yeah.
But he had a fan base right there. Well, check this out. Tucker ain't the same Tucker he was then.
Yeah.
So he had to be very cautious about going back doing some of the things that he did there. Same with Calvin. You can't, if you're going to progress, if you're going to allow God to elevate you, then you can't keep doing the things that you did.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me, Kevin?
Yeah, you can't go back doing them garage shows and shit like that.
No. So,
Yeah.
and that's, everybody should want to better themselves and raise their value. Like when you went to the military, you went to what? Boot camp, basic training?
Uh-huh.
You retired from the military, right?
Yeah.
You didn't just go to basic training, stay in the Army 3 years, and then quit. right?
Uh-huh.
But as you stayed, you elevated. You
Yeah.
didn't retire private first class, did you?
Mm-mm.
No. And what did you have to do to elevate?
You get educated, be disciplined, and I had to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing we talking about here.
Yeah.
Same thing we talking about here. If you
Mm-hmm.
want those hit records, you got to learn how to produce or be produced, not just be recorded.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people say you got guy, oh, I'm his producer. No, you're not really a producer. You just know how to go in and record the record.
Yeah.
But then when a real person that hears a real radio personality or program director hears the song and they hear the mix ain't right, or this is not right, or did you hear that? That's flat. Da 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 da. Oh, they hating. They don't want to play my record. I got a banger. I hear that all the time.
Yep.
You
Mm-hmm.
follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now I get some
So-
music. I get some music down the boy. I tell them I'm not playing it on the radio. I'm not playing it. I don't think it's suitable for radio, and I'm not playing it.
Hey dude, you a bold dude, man. Like
I'm not playing it. Yeah.
I feel you though, but for me, the thing is, just for me, man. Again, with certain things or with certain people, because
Yeah.
the reality of it is, they really, really don't want to hear you
Yeah.
anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, and then, man, my family's calling me and stuff. I gotta go.
Yeah, we about to get off.
But
Yeah.
I will say this, man, and I'm gonna announce my shows now. I'm gonna promote these shows, but I will say this to any artist, any musician, any radio personality, promoter, or whatever. If you doing something and you still doing it the same way that you did it when you first started, you need to try something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't elevated from when you first started, I don't care if it was a year ago.
Yeah.
You know, there needs to be some elevation. And if you
Mhm.
too egotistical or hard-hearted or stubborn to learn from the people that's doing it right, trust me, ain't nobody just giving these cats this money just because they want to give it to them.
Yeah.
They giving them this money because they worth it. They
Yeah.
earning it.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, talk
Yes.
about your shows, man. What you got coming up?
Sunday, May 28th, Holly Springs, the return of the Soul Blues Mega Fest. We hadn't been to Holly Springs in like 4 going on 5 years. We coming back 880 Sam Coopwood Park. The black people call it the stadium. It's where the high school football team play football. We're going to the park. Calvin Richardson, King George, Willie Clayton, the Boston Blues, Stacey Adams, Just In, Kirby Smooth, which, by the way, got some new music. I'm going to count on you, and I'm going to do business with you to play it now.
Gotcha.
We got some songs coming out.
Okay.
Sunday, May 28th, gates open at 1 o'clock, showtime 5 o'clock. You can get the tickets on eventbrite.com, or you can call me at 901-355-7318. That's 901-355-7318. Just to give you a note, first time Calvin Richardson and King George has ever played together in North Mississippi. So we got 3 generations of music going on here. Willie Clayton, the icon. You got the Prince of Soul, Calvin Richardson. You got the new kid on the block, King George. Then my man, Stacey Adams, who's on the BMG label, along with Calvin's nephew, Justin. Brand new album coming out. Love You Like the 90s. Y'all better get this. This is a good record. Just In, Sugar Daddy, brand new single. And then, of course, my artist, Kirby Smooth. We got some new records coming out. And go get those tickets, man. On Mother's Day, Lumberton, Mississippi, another first time ever. Anthony Hamilton and Calvin Richardson has never performed together in the state of Mississippi. On Sunday, May 14th, Mother's Day, Lumberton, Mississippi at the airport. Anthony Hamilton, Calvin Richardson, Adina Howard, Benny Lattimore, Miss Jody, Nelly Tiger Travis, Mr. Smoke, Avell Hollywood, Big Yayo, Stacey Adams, Just In, Billy D, Bobby Ray. I'm 22 artists, man, in one day.
I might come to that show, man. I might come down there.
Yeah. Now, somebody asked me, people always gonna make jokes. How y'all gonna do that? All them people, when y'all gonna start? Yesterday? No, we're gonna start at 11 o'clock in the morning, and by 8 o'clock, Anthony Hamilton's gonna be on stage. Guess what? We gonna do this because we ain't new to this. We true to this.
There you
That's
go.
Sunday, May 14th in Lumberton, Mississippi. Anthony Hamilton and Calvin Richardson. Sunday, May 28th in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Calvin Richardson, King George, Willie Clayton. Hey, the ticket's out there, baby.
Yeah, send me the flyer to that. I know I got that one with Calvin on, but send me the flyer to the other one I posted.
Which one? I sent you I even sent you the drop with Morgan Freeman on it.
Well, I got the one where you got Calvin Richardson in the red. That's the one I got. But you sent
that's
me
May 28th.
Okay, what the one with Anthony Hamilton? Did you send me that one?
I'm gonna send you the flip side. Yeah, it's two different flyers. It's two sides.
Okay.
One side got Anthony on it. The other side got Calvin on it. Okay. I'll send you both sides. Okay.
Okay. Y'all hear that, right? So when y'all see these flyers, if you go down my page, I got 3 pages. I got KL Young, I got Kevin Young, and I got K Young Production. I share everybody's flyers. I don't care who it is. If you tag me in it, and some of y'all, I'm not sharing none of y'all stuff because because I go down your page when I tag y'all don't put my stuff on your page. I'm not putting your stuff on my page. So stop tagging me. I'm telling you that right now. Do not tag me. If I can, and what I do, I got all the time in the world, Danny boy. I'm retired. If I tag 100 people, I go down there 100 people pages and look. I go down there and look. I say, okay, then next week this person tagged me. No, I'm not putting it on my page. So we have to help each other, man. It's people stop being selfish.
You're absolutely right, man.
Yeah, stop being selfish, man. Because hell, my show is not in your area. Hell, his show in Mississippi. I live in Texas, but I still share it because I support you. So we need to start supporting one another, man. Stop with this whole nonsense. Stop with this nonsense and just support everybody, man. So,
really, when we change our energy, and learn to be positive and not look to be negative. What I'm saying? Like I said, you can find something wrong with anything if you look at it the wrong way long enough. Okay, Blues is all right. Coming to Houston, baby. April 21st.
I'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Cleveland, Ohio, Friday. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Never before, man. Never before. Tropicana Casino, Atlantic City, New Jersey. These boys are making a way.
That's a good deal. And I'm proud of all of them, man. I'm proud of Julius, Roger Red. I'm proud of all of them, man. That's making a way, man. That's doing this thing, man. Like I said, if I can do anything to help anybody, man, I'm not. I don't have a misanthropic attitude. I don't have that.
It ain't one thing I hope on this tour, and I hope he's listening. So somebody tell him, I hope that Roger Redden dropped that big billfold, the one he carried down in his sock one day, and I can pick it up and hold it. Hey, Roger got that over. Roger keep money in his sock.
That's right. But look, man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Like I said, man, this is my third year, and this podcast ain't free. I tell everybody it's a podcast, not a Facebook page. I pay a monthly fee to have the interview artist, and you my 55th interview. So all the interviews are on my YouTube page. All the interviews on. I got 55. It's gonna be 55 tonight. 55 interviews. When I had Calvin on here about a year and a half ago. So I got all the interviews on here, man, because I want the people to see the intimate side of the artist, because they don't get a chance to talk to you guys. They don't get a chance to talk to them, especially at them big shows. You're not going to talk to Tucker and Calvin and Poe. You're not going to talk to them, but you can hear them.
And let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
These guys don't really have time to take pictures and have a conversation with everybody. So if you happen to be wanting to talk to them or to meet them or something, and they don't take it. All these cats, Calvin's one of the nicest guys I ever met in my life. Tucker's a great guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys, and I'm just using them for an example, because that's who out there with. George, great guy. Don't get offended or think that they being stuck up or bougie because they don't have time to actually stop and talk to everybody in the building. You're talking about 3,000 people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You follow me? So if you got 200 people standing in line to get a picture, how the hell are they going to take? It'll take them all day to do that. So fans and people, and the thing about it is, I'm saying this because some of these same people go to the Legacy Tour. They go see some of these other artists. You ain't going to get to see them. Yeah. The Doobie Brothers, and you don't expect to see them. Exactly. You don't expect the Doobie Brothers are doing their 50th year anniversary tour. You ain't going to expect to get no picture with Michael McDonald. Yeah. And you ain't going to sweat nobody about it. So quit doing these Southern Soul guys like this, man. Quit thinking that they gotta be accessible
Yeah.
every time you want them to be. Because
Yeah.
these guys, man, you know, they got families and stuff too that they have to
Mhm.
be concerned about. And you know, they
Yeah.
have to be concerned about their rest and they, you know, and all that stuff,
Yeah.
man.
That's good.
My goal is to try to change the mindset of the way people look at Southern Soul. You asked me about music and what did I think about songs that people doing. I went to a conference one time and Quincy Jones was the keynote speaker, D. Quincy Jones. He only spoke for 10 minutes, maybe 8. But the one thing he said to me that sticks with me forever, if you can't play it, I mean, if you can't dance to it, cry to it, or make love to it, you don't need to play it, sing it, or record it.
Yep. All right. On that note, man, hey, I see when y'all gonna be in Houston.
April 21st, I think. We play
Okay.
Houston on April 21st.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know you better be there and
oh
bring me
yeah,
a steak.
I
Steak
got
and
you.
potato. Tell
I
your
got
wife.
you. I
Hey,
got you, man.
I ain't out front on the mic. I ain't trying to lose no gut. I'm on the Mo Gut tour. Bring me that steak and potato, baby.
I got you, bro. Hey, appreciate you coming on, man. Hey,
Hey,
thank y'all for
again,
tuning in.
thank you, man.
Oh,
Thank you for the
anytime, man.
friendship.
Yeah.
Much love and respect to you.
Anything you
And I'm
need,
happy
man, just
for
hit
you.
me up.
I'm happy for you, man. Keep
All
up the
right,
good
bro.
work. And thank you for looking out for this genre of music that's providing a living for a lot of us.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna be here, man. I ain't tired yet. I'm gonna be here. I ain't got nothing else to
Thank you
do.
so much. Hey, don't be racing Fat Daddy and them, though, beating them young boys, man, making them look bad. Wait, hey, I shouldn't even tell you that. I should be telling Fat Daddy now.
Yeah.
If you know you're 30-something years old and you can't beat a 50-something-year-old guy
Thank you.
racing,
You need to sit
don't
down
get on
somewhere.
Facebook. Hey, man, don't do it. Hey, you got so bold, you turn around, start running backwards. Like, where you at, man? Fat Daddy, my boy, man, up and coming artist, man. He gonna be a star.
I think it's his birthday today. His birthday today.
Oh, I gotta call him then.
Yeah, it's his birthday today, brother. Yeah, hit him up. Yeah, I hit him up this morning, told him happy birthday. But hey, man, hey, I see you in Houston, brother. Be safe, man.
All right, my
God
man.
bless you.
Take care of yourself, man. Much love and respect. Thank you
All
for
right,
having
brother.
me.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all know what it is. Hey, I know y'all was born in 1960, 1970. Y'all know what it meant when the flag came on. See y'all next week. I think I got Stacey Adams coming on next week. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. And don't forget to send them stars. All right. See y'all later. I'll see y'all next week.
Hey, it's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Everybody alright? It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. Hey, you better hold on tight. It's off the record. It's Wednesday night. K-On, I think they're ready. You tuned into what you tuned in.